Hi, welcome to the Introstat R Lab. This is the R Lab exercise number 2 here. This is the second part. So that's why I call the unit number 2B here. The first part, we are talking about displaying and describing categorical type of the data. So for the second part, we talk about the displaying and describing the quantitative type of the data. So in the second part of the R Lab, okay, so as always, the lab always have two parts, the lecture part and the video part. So for the lecture part, I have a total 3 videos here. So the key topics covered in these 3 videos, and will be talk about the histogram, what is a histogram, dot plot, stem and leaf, and then we're going to discuss the shape of the data and the mode. Is it symmetric? Is it skewness? So basically, the lecture part is covered the section 2.2 and 2.3 and in the book here. All right. And then for the software R part, also we have 3 videos here. So like in here, these 3 video, we talk about the key things we need to pay attention is what is the R code, how to do the histogram. And then the next things here, this is pretty helpful here is we said how to escape from the plus hell. That means, sometimes if you type in something wrong in the R, then every time you hit enter, they will give you a plus sign, and it's very difficult to say what's wrong, and then you will not be able to type the things. So that's why we call this the plus help. So how to escape that. And also for the histogram, we know the histogram set by the bars here, right? So like how big, what is the bin width for the histogram? We also discussed in here. All right, so let's go to the whiteboard and take a look at what are the key things you might want to pay attention when you watch the videos here. All right, so let's go to the whiteboard here. Okay, so in here, as we talk about the first things, we're going to do the histograms here, right? So for the histogram, so one thing here, you don't want to confuse the histogram with bar chart, right? So the bar charts here, we use it to, when we did the categorical data analysis, right? So bar chart will have something like here. So this is maybe this is the frequencies here. And so here is the different bar. And so here, this maybe is the categorical number 1. And the category number 1, category number 2, category number 3, category number 4, right? Now you take a look at the frequencies here. So for example, we said the pets, right? So maybe this is a dog, and this is a cat, and this is a rabbit, right? Okay, so like this is a rabbit. So like you say, okay, you have a rabbit here. And then maybe this is, oh, this is a snake. Some people like the snake, right? So then you see how many people, then you do the frequency. This is a bar chart. Histogram is a similar like bar chart, but histogram is like this. So instead of have a separate bar, histogram typical is like they have the bar linked together here, right? So probably, well, why it's not letting me draw? Okay, so yeah, okay, so here, then oops. Okay, so like a histogram is something like this, and so it's the bar chart. But typical the histogram doesn't have the space between the bars here. And then in the here, the x-axis is what is your data, right? So if you see, hey, I want to plot the maybe the height, right? So here is the height, right? So this will be the height, or you say I want to plot the weight, and then here's your weight. And then in the bar chart here is you plot the the category, different categories here, right? So that's the first thing for the histogram. And then we also talk about the distribution shape. The distribution shape, the two things, a few things we need to care about here. First is modes here. The mode is how many peak you have. So for example, if you do a histogram, so for your histogram, like this, all right, so as you can see, this histogram has two modes, two peaks here. One is here, one is here. So for this type of, we call it, you have two peaks, the mode is two, right? So we call it, this is a bimodal distribution. So like if you only have one peak here, we call it is the single model, right? So like here, like something like this. This is we call it is the in the universe, unimodels just have one peak here. And also, so this is the modes here. Then the other one is we call it a symmetric or skew. So if a distribution, so like a distribution, if you put a curve there, so this curve kind of the symmetric to the center, then this one we call it a symmetric. Right? So if your histogram is going like something like this, so if you have some histogram like this, okay, so like in here, so if you like superimpose a curve here, right? So you see this one, you will have a tail. So this type of the distribution we say is skew to the right. Okay, so we say this is a skew to the right. Okay. So because the tail is on the right here, or if you have some histogram, if your histogram go like this way, like here, like that, it's just like we say, if you superimpose the curve, it's kind of here you have tails this way, then I call that this is a skew to the left, right? So we say this is a skew to the left. Okay, so those are the few things, like this one's here, so we say it's a symmetric, right? Because it's kind of the, when we mean symmetric, that means you folded it, right? You folded the curve, they will kind of the overlap, right? All right, so those are the few things from the, from the videos you're going to learn, and I just summarize this here. All right, okay, so now the next things here, it will be where I'm going to, okay, oh, so no, that's the wrong things. I shared the wrong things here. Okay, so here, okay, here, all right. So that's what is the software, the thing here, and then the next things here, it will be, where you can find it. Just like always, you can find the video in the Chico Math Lab and under the playlist, IntroStat RLab. Okay, hope this little brief summary help you to go to the part 2B for your RLabs here. Okay, bye. Have a, have a nice review of the R videos here. All right, bye-bye.